Hello everyone, in today's video I'm going to explain my greatest Olympic prize written by Jesse Owens. But before starting the explanation, I would like to read a few lines on Jesse Owens. It's Treasure Trove, page number 103. Let us read. Jesse Owens, the son of a sharecropper and grandson of a slave, achieved what no Olympian before him had accomplished. His stunning achievement of 4 gold medals at the 1936 Olympic Games in Berlin has made him the best remembered athlete in Olympic history. Despite his humble beginning, Jesse Owens achieved what no Olympian before him had accomplished, and his stunning achievement was winning 4 gold medals at the 1936 Olympic Games in Berlin. The following is a true story, a true account of a friendship between two great athletes that burgeoned, that blossomed during the 1936 Berlin Summer Olympics. The setting of this true story is 1936 Berlin Summer Olympics. There is a theme of friendship highlighted in this true story, and there is an autobiographical element in this true account. And who are the two great athletes? The two great athletes are Jesse Owens and Lars Long. Now, the political and social context. Adolf Hitler had spread the myth that one ethnic group was superior to all others and refused to acknowledge that a black man, a black-skinned man, could ever be successful. This affected African-American track and field athlete Jesse Owens so badly that he almost failed to qualify for the long jump finals. So, who was Jesse Owens? He was an African-American black track and field athlete. And the situation seemed hopeless until his rival, his competitor Lars Long, a German athlete, spoke to him encouragingly, giving Owens a tip that helped him qualify. Long knew that if Owens succeeded, it might jeopardize, it might affect his chances of winning the gold medal since they were competing against each other. There was stiff competition among the athletes, especially between Lars Long and the favorite Jesse Owens. Nevertheless, Lars Long put winning a medal at risk and continued to urge, to motivate, to encourage Owens to try harder. It was this act of Lars Long's that led Owens to first qualify and then go on to win the medal and also set a record. His stunning achievement of 4 gold medals at the 1936 Olympic Games in Berlin has made him the best remembered athlete in Olympic history, and Lars Long had an instrumental role to play in it. More importantly, yes, this is a stunning achievement, but more importantly, it led to a lifelong friendship between the two men. And it is this lifelong friendship that is Jesse Owens' greatest Olympic prize. This is the justification of the title, the appropriateness of the title. And this friendship ended only when Long was killed in action in the Second World War, unfortunately. It was the summer of 1936. The Olympic Games were being held in Berlin as discussed. The setting because Hitler childishly insisted that his performers were members of a master race. Nationalistic feelings were at an all-time high. Hitler childishly. According to Jesse Owens, Hitler was being childish, egoistic, in proclaiming that his performers were members of a master race. He did not believe in the ideology propagated by Hitler. And what is this theory? This is Nazis' Aryan superiority theory. And this story refutes the Nazis' ideology of Aryan superiority theory through Owens' achievement, through Owens' individual excellence and brilliant performance. Nazis believed in the theory of racial hierarchy, identifying Germans as part of Aryan or Nordic master race. Keep this in mind, racial hierarchy. I wasn't too worried about all this. Who is the narrator? Jesse Owens himself. I had trained, sweated and disciplined myself for 6 long years with the games in mind. His goal, his target, the Olympic Games, and he had trained, sweated and disciplined, undergone rigorous training, strict training for 6 long years. I hope you all remember 9 gold medals. There also the athletes had trained for weeks and months and days to win a bronze, a silver or a gold medal. This case is also similar to the one depicted in 9 gold medals. While I was going over on the boat, all I could think about was taking home 1 or 2 of those gold medals. I had my eye specially on the running broad jump. A year before, as a sophomore. What is the meaning of this? A high school student. As a high school student at Ohio State University, I had set the world's record of 26 feet and 8¼ inches. Everyone kind of expected me to win the Olympic event hands down. He was the favorite. Everyone expected him to win. I was in for a surprise. However, when he reached the venue, he was in for a surprise. And why is it so? When the time came for the broad jump trials, I was startled, surprised to see a tall boy, another athlete, hitting the pit at almost 26 feet on his practice leaps. He turned out to be a German named Lars Long, a representative of Hitler's Aryan superiority theory. I was told that Hitler had kept him under wraps. Hitler did not disclose much details about Lars Long deliberately in order to win the jump with him, in order to surprise the world by winning the jump with him, proving that the Germans were the members of the master class. Next, I guess that if Long won, it would add some new support to the Nazis' Aryan superiority theory. Learn this. Nazis' Aryan superiority theory. After all, I am a Negro, a black-skinned Negro. A little hot under the collar about Hitler's ways. Jesse Owens did not approve of Hitler's ways or the ideology of Hitler. I determined to go out there, challenge him and really show Der Führer and his master race who was superior and who wasn't. So he was prepared to challenge Hitler. And what is the meaning of Der Führer? Well, it is a political title given to Adolf Hitler, and Führer literally means leader. An angry athlete is an athlete who will make mistakes, as any coach will tell you. This is a common fact that if an athlete is angry, he will make mistakes. That is, if an athlete is mentally disturbed, he will make mistakes because his mind has been diverted and he will not be able to concentrate. I was no exception. Jesse Owens too was mentally disturbed and he was unable to concentrate. On the first of my 3 qualifying jumps, I leaped from several inches beyond the takeoff board for a foul. You are familiar with the term foul in sports. It constitutes an infringement of rules in a game or sport. On the second jump also, I fouled even worse. And did I come 3,000 miles for this? I thought bitterly to foul out of the trials and make a fool of myself. So he was angry with himself. He was disappointed. He was frustrated, and walking a few yards from the pit, I kicked disgustedly. His disappointment, his frustration at the dirt. Suddenly I felt a hand on my shoulder. I turned to look into the friendly blue eyes of the tall German broad jumper. Who is the tall German broad jumper? Yes, it is Lars Long. The word friendly is very crucial here. He was a German, but he looked at Jesse Owens in a friendly way. He had easily qualified for the finals on his first attempt. Lars Long had easily qualified for the finals on his first attempt. On the other hand, Jesse Owens was finding it difficult to qualify, and he had fouled twice. He offered me a firm handshake. This is the first meeting. Greeted him with a firm handshake. Jesse Owens, I'm Lars Long, the introduction. I don't think we have met. He spoke English well, though with a German twist to it. Glad to meet you, I said. Then, trying to hide my nervousness, I added, how are you? Nervousness. Jesse Owens was nervous. I'm fine. The question is, how are you? What do you mean? I asked. Something must be eating you. Something must be bothering you, Jesse. He said, proud the way foreigners are when they have mastered a bit of American slang. You should be able to qualify with your eyes closed, easily. But what is wrong with you, and how are you? Something must be troubling you. As an athlete himself, Lars Long understood the condition, the mental state of Jesse Owens. Believe me, I know it, I told him, and it felt good to say that to someone. For the next few minutes, we talked together. I didn't tell Long what was eating me, but he seemed to understand my anger. And he took pains to reassure me. Although he had been schooled in the Nazi youth movement, he didn't believe in the Aryan supremacy business any more than I did. So, although he was conditioned into believing in the Nazi youth movement, in the Aryan supremacy theory, he did not believe it. He did not support this theory. And he understood why Jesse Owens was disturbed, why Jesse Owens was so angry with the system, with the socio-political system, as well as with himself. We laughed over the fact that he really looked the part, though. He was a German and he really looked as a member of the master class, but he did not believe in this racial hierarchy, and they both laughed over this. An inch taller than I, description of Lars Long. He had a lean, muscular frame, clear blue eyes, blonde hair, and a strikingly handsome chiseled face. Dear students, learn the description of Lars Long and mark, while reading the text, mark the key elements, the key words, and you must learn some words so that you can quote. Finally, seeing that I had calmed down somewhat, he pointed to the takeoff board. So this conversation, this meeting somewhat calmed Jesse Owens. Look, he said, why don't you draw a line a few inches in back of the board and aim at making your takeoff from there? A tip. You will be sure not to foul, but you certainly ought to jump far enough to qualify. What does it matter if you are not first in the trials? Tomorrow is what counts. Tomorrow is a new beginning. Tomorrow you may perform very, very well. So this is true in all cases, in all circumstances. Tomorrow is what counts. And this is going to motivate Jesse Owens. Today he is not being able to perform well, but tomorrow he will surely do well. It will be a new beginning, a new day, a fresh start. Let's see what is the effect of these words of encouragement on Jesse Owens. Suddenly, all the tension seemed to ebb out of my body as the truth of what he said hit me, and he was filled with confidence. Confidently, I drew a line a full foot in back of the board and proceeded to jump from there. I qualified with almost a foot to spare and he was in the finals. That night, I walked over to Luz Long's room in the Olympic Village to thank him. He was grateful. Jesse was grateful to Luz. I knew that if it hadn't been for him, I probably wouldn't be jumping in the finals the following day. We sat in his quarters and talked for 2 long hours about track and field, ourselves, the world situation, the political situation, the social condition, and a dozen other things. They spent quality time together. When I finally got up to leave, we both knew that a real friendship had been formed. Luz would go out to the field the next day, trying to beat me if he could. They were competitors, but I knew that he wanted me to do my best, even if that meant my winning. This is true sportsman spirit. And the friendship was pure, unconditional and selfless. As it turned out, Luz broke his own past record. He performed really well, and in doing so, he pushed me on to a peak performance. I remember that at the instant I landed from my final jump, the one which set the Olympic record of 26 feet 5 by 16 inches, he was at my side congratulating me. Unconditional love. Selflessly, he congratulated Jesse Owens on his success. Despite the fact that Hitler glared at us from the stands not 100 yards away, Luz shook my hand hard. And it wasn't a fake smile with a broken heart sort of grip either. He wholeheartedly congratulated Jesse. He was really happy. For Jesse, it was not a pretense. It was not a fake smile. With a broken heart, he was really happy. And there was Hitler glaring at them from the stands not 100 yards ago. He was very angry. He did not like the situation at all. Just imagine how he felt when a Negro, a black-skinned athlete, became the best in that event. You can melt down all the gold medals and cups I have, and they couldn't be a plating on the 24-carat friendship I felt for Luz Long at that moment. What is the meaning of this expression, 24-carat friendship? 24 carat. Yes, carat is the term used to measure the gold content or purity of gold. 24-carat gold is also called pure gold, that is gold without any traces of other metal. Therefore, 24-carat friendship signifies the true and pure friendship Owens felt for Luz Long, which was free of traces of hatred, anger, jealousy. So this was unconditional love, selfless love, and true friendship. I realized then too that Luz was the epitome example of what Pierre de Coubertin, founder of the modern Olympic Games, must have had in mind when he said, The important thing in the Olympic Games is not winning but taking part. Participation is important. Yes, winning is important, but participation is more important. The essential thing in life, so it is a life lesson as well. The essential thing in life is not conquering, but fighting well without giving up, without surrendering. Fighting spirit, indomitable spirit to fight well. This is what is of utmost importance in life. This is a philosophy of life which we all need to imbibe in ourselves to be successful.